max, blow you a kiss. About to take off on my spaceship.
3, 2, 1. Hello, Robert.
Hello, how are
How
you,
you doing,
buddy?
man?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, first of all, I want to appreciate for you giving me the opportunity for this podcast. So thank you very much.
No,
for-
man. Thank you. You know what? I haven't done podcast in a while. I don't know if you noticed or like the people watching or listening. I haven't done it in a while, so and it feels good coming back. You know, and I want to get back and being consistent about it. And one of the hardest thing is finding guests. So you know, I thank you so much for coming on and being a guest. I really do appreciate it.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you.
Yeah. So I've been here in Texas for about 3 years. And you're going to be on your second year?
Second year in August. It will
Oh,
be
okay.
the second year.
Okay. Well, welcome to
Basically.
Texas, man.
Thank you.
And you know, something that I find interesting and I feel like it's important is kind of change and adaptation. And this is something that well, especially for your personal development, you know, and I feel like I didn't really realize that till I moved here because, you know, me raised in California, I have my parents, my brothers and sisters, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, and my regular friends. But now coming here, just me and my family, they're no longer available to me. You know, so here, especially not particularly here in Texas, but even just to make a move somewhere out of state or anywhere else, you find out who you are and what you're capable of, you know, and what has pressured me to doing with that is, you know, I don't know, I honestly don't know if in California, if I would have started a podcast or if I would even start training and exercises to do the competitive sparring races. I really don't know. And me being Mexican, of Mexican family, that's hard because we would have to miss quinceañeras, bautizos.
So much going on.
Yes.
So for me, basically, I mean, I only been here for 2 years, and I will say I can tell you that the hardest part was leaving family in California. My mama, my papa, they live in Oxnard, so it's been hard. It's not been easy, especially for my family, which is my wife and her family in California. But at the same time, there's a lot of good things in Texas
Right.
that I really, really like. I like the quality of life. I really do. I like the schools. My daughter's so happy with schools here. There's a lot of sports events. And the main thing that I feel is I feel more freedom here.
Really.
Yeah, I feel freedom. I can go to a place and drink a beer. Nobody's going to bother me. It's just a good feeling, you know. And in California, it's just so restricted everywhere anymore. It's just harder than your freedom is being taken away. It's beautiful, but some of your freedom has been taken away. That's my point of view.
Like I wish now coming here, just like you said, the school system is, especially where we're at, the school system is great. Like the school that my kid is going to, it looks like a freaking college. It's huge and it's nice. It's like, imagine us growing up in a community or in a school like that where, you know, where you get to learn and you get to prosper for fun.
Yep.
How much of an advantage would that be?
Yep.
You know?
I'm with you. I mean, I think I have done so much more in the 2 years I've been in Texas than the time that I've been
Really?
in California. Oh yeah, it's amazing. There's so much business opportunities. It's insane. Everywhere you go, there's something happening. Construction wise, Texas means business. I think California for me is no business, meaning that if you want to start a business in California, it would be super difficult. And Texas gives you the opportunity. I think it gives you a big opportunity to build basically anything that you want. That's the way I see it.
Before we move on, cheers. So not only have you moved here with your family, but your company has also moved here. We already talked about the pros and the cons of you personally, the transition from California to Texas, and what do you see since you're part of you were I'm pretty sure you were part of that movement, part of that transition. What were the pros and cons from your business over there in California to here in Texas?
Look, for as a business aspect, I think we executed the move on the worst time because that was almost before COVID hit. It was not an easy task. I mean, I remember when we were trying to plan some move truckloads in the beginning before COVID. It was about $2,000, and by the time we were moving, it was almost $5,000 for truckload. And when when you're thinking about 100 truckloads to move the whole operation from California, that's a big chunk of cash. It was not easy, but we did it, and I think it was the best decision as a company to make it happen, because a lot of the companies can talk about it, but not a lot of companies will execute the move. It was not easy. We're still adjusting to it. I will say I take it as the land in Texas compared with the land in California. So the soil is solid. Here, the land is more like clay,
Yeah.
and it takes time to adjust. And that's where we, as a company, that's where we're going through, like adjusting. And I think we're in a better position than in California. I really do. I mean, for the couple years that we've been here, I think we're just going to get better and better.
Would you be able to say whether it was a good financial move?
Yes, I think so. We could have done things better, but I think overall, financial, I think it was a really great decision, because we wouldn't be able to do what we did in Texas and California. There was
really?
No way.
What?
No way.
Would you be able to say some of the things?
For instance, the building, we build a company from scratch. We have almost about 150,000 square footage of land. Here, I will say probably about $20 million. In California, you probably end up paying like $50 million.
Really?
So it would be almost really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah, and I would say also, especially like in California, if you were to move your business, it's already surrounded by buildings, houses, infrastructure, whatever. But it's just crazy here how there's still so much space.
Yeah, and also one of the things too is the restrictions, the permits, and all that stuff. If you're building a company from scratch here in Texas, maybe a year.
Oh, really?
In California, it's probably going to take you probably a couple years, 3 years. It all depends of the city permits and all that.
Right.
It just makes it easier here. Things move pretty quick around here.
Yeah. I noticed that at the beginning, like my first year in, I started an LLC, and I was able to get that LLC within like probably weeks, maybe a month or two if that. But I was just impressed of how fast it was able to run through the whole system and get it approved.
To move.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if I never started an LLC in California, but I don't know if it would have been the same thing.
It probably would take us at least three times more than normal than here in Texas. I think the one thing that I notice here in Texas also is that utilities, cable, and all that stuff, everybody's so friendly. Things happen really quick. They're very helpful. The customer service is there. Which in California, you call this number, and then they send you to another number, and then you got to press one, and then you got to press two. And it's just like mission impossible to get to a human being.
Yeah.
Here, I think there's the customer service still there.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I notice it.
I guess because here it's still a little bit old school, right? To where there's more human contact. There's less automation, where in California it's more automation, where they want, computers and, algorithms and AI talking. Here, you're still paying for the people because they're still old school.
You still have a person on the other side, answering the phone. Old
Yeah.
fashioned.
Yeah, yeah.
Real customer service.
Yeah.
which is for a lot of people is very valuable.
Right.
Someone answering the phone and taking care of yours.
Right. It's like we need. It's great to have that human connection and human interaction without another person.
Absolutely.
You can. I mean, I'm pretty sure eventually they'll get better. But as of right now, you can tell off the bat whether it's a computer or whether it's a person.
Or it's a human. Or it could be a human anywhere in the,
Yes.
Working
remotely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too.
Right.
Yeah.
So now Texas is, I mean, as we talk, Texas is huge. So what led you to live up here in northern Texas versus the city type in Dallas?
Okay, you really want to know. So the first time I came down to this area, I went down to the city of Frisco. Okay. There was an area right there by the Star that there was families sitting down with their kids playing football, playing soccer. I love to see that stuff, man. Then I came the second time to Texas. When the company was moving, I was actually staying in Texas, in Frisco. And I love it. I love it. So that kind of sold me out. So I'm going to tell you one thing, but before we moved to Texas, we were looking in other states.
Really?
It was not like, hey, we're moving to Texas. They did a massive study to determine what city.
Really?
Yeah, we check Utah, we check Knoxville, we check other states and see what would it make the most sense. And Texas for our business is the one that make the most sense.
Wow.
Yeah, overall. So Texas was the winner for everybody.
Obviously, Texas was option one. What do you remember? What was option two?
Option two was Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah. Knoxville, Tennessee, but it was a little different over there.
Right.
It wasn't bad, but it was just different.
Right.
It was like going back in time. So we're like, no, wait a minute. We need something modern. So for me, when I came to Texas, I'm like, okay, I need my church, I need a church. I need good schools for my daughter. I like to go out, so I need to have places to go out at night.
Right.
So I put everything. I need to do this to be able to move to Texas to do what I'm doing in California.
Right.
And when I came over here, I'm like, oh, yeah, I like it. I can make it happen. We can definitely make it work over here.
Right.
So my son got connected really quick here, maybe made some friends. My little one got connected really good with the school. My wife, she had a little bit harder time just because her mom is in California, and which is understandable. But overall, that kind of sold me out, man. That city of Frisco, those kids playing. You go to the colony, you see kids, families sitting down watching a movie. That's my thing, man.
Right.
It just sold me out.
Yeah.
Just sold me out. And because I have kids. So, like I say, quality time. Family quality time.
Right. And me from coming from California, I would say California is great. And during my single years, I said it was great. But now that I have a family, I would say that Texas is the spot to be for a family. Because like you said, you can as soon as you come in here, you can smell, you can taste the freedom.
There you go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
Seriously.
it just feels, I don't know what it is, but it just feels open, Also all the open space, all the friendly people, and it's great for California because there's always something to do. And when you're young, you want to do all that.
Right.
Where here in Texas, there's not, if you want to have at least some fun, maybe you go to Frisco. For sure, you go to Dallas, but it's not going to be like California.
Oh, no.
No.
It's never going to be.
No.
And I don't think we want it to be as California.
True.
True. We want it different.
Good
We
point.
want that freedom to, it feels like America.
Yeah.
It really does, man. Look at 4th of July. You celebrate 4th of July here differently than in California. I can tell you that much.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And the one thing, you know what, I'm going to be honest with you, the one thing that kind of helped me out with the move and adjusting to Texas, I travel a lot, dude. Mm-hmm. I travel a lot. Too. I could be in San Diego. I could be in Rosarito. I can be in the fact because we have factories all over Mexico, so it's just that kind of helped me out. But the other on the other side is for my family is still adapting to it. You know?
Right.
It's not easy. It's just not easy.
No.
It's not easy.
No. It
Yeah.
definitely takes some time. But I mean, once you just let it sink in, it's great because I mean, and we talked about this before. It's like, when we were hunter gatherers, we would move from place to place, try to avoid, the winter or wherever we can go to find shelter, to find food, whatever's best for our family. So that already says that it's already in our DNA. And the only way to grow is to change and adapt. You can't be stuck in your comfort zone. You kind of have to get out of your comfort zone, whatever that is.
I agree. So since the beginning, since we moved here, I mean, it's just things have changed dramatically. But you know what? We executed because a lot of people will say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna move," and they don't execute. We execute, and and friends like you guys are it's been so it makes it just easier because when we got here, we didn't know anybody.
Right.
So just having friends like you guys, I made a couple good friends, good circle of friends. So that kind of facilitate things too.
Right. Right. And we've talked about how even though you don't have the same people in California, but you also get to build new relationships here.
Right.
Like we meet some within the community, at work, or during the podcast.
Or doing the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it also allows you, I guess, to kind of be more social and even to teach you how to be more social, And so I would say was it the first year where we had the Texas storm?
Yeah, remember that? So you know what? I'm a camper, man. When that storm hit, I was actually ready for that storm.
What do you mean?
I was ready. I had everything to survive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had everything to survive. I had grills. I had lights. I had everything. Me and my son were barbecuing. It was below 5, I remember, and we kind of scraped the snow a little bit. We were barbecuing because we were hungry, but we had everything to barbecue. We had charcoal. We had a portable stove. We had lights. We lost power for a couple of days.
Right.
So we had firewood. So we survived, man. We were fine.
Yeah.
We were fine. The only thing is you couldn't really do anything. You couldn't go out, but
yeah.
I mean, we were hungry. We would eat, and the family reacted really well. I think we were kind of got us together. Kind of put us together a little bit closer.
Well, I mean, you're from Chicago, so I would imagine you kind of somehow familiar to it.
With the snow.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful. At the same time, the snow was beautiful.
Yeah, it was
just
beautiful.
not seeing it. Yeah.
It was beautiful. But then, like you said, you couldn't go out. And yeah.
You couldn't go out, and it was really bad for business, because for that whole week, there was no movement. Everything was dead. There was no transportation. There was no UPS, no FedEx, nothing. So in that part, business-wise, it was not the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even within the company, there's trucking involved.
Right.
From Mexico.
I mean, you got to move stuff.
To here, Texas. So that completely stopped?
Everything completely stopped.
Eek.
For a week. Yeah.
Wow.
And you got that's the day-to-day, transportation is like our bread and butter.
Right.
So bread and butter stops, guess what?
Yeah.
No good. Now you got a backlog. Now you have to, things that we're going to wait for a week. Now it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And it's just, business-wise, it was not good.
Right.
Personal-wise, I was able to manage it pretty well, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I would say one of the good things about California and the way that society is and the mentality is that it's very fast paced, very fast paced. Because even I remember coming here, I was already used to the pace, you know. So when I started working at a company, I'm like, let's get this done. Let's go, move it.
Everything has to be quick.
Everything has to be quick. Yes.
Really
and everybody
fast.
was like, well, like, take it easy. And like you said, here's like different type.
It's a little low pace. Like I
Yes.
tell you, I like to stop by, get my coffee, take my time. California, you pick up your coffee, go.
Yeah.
You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move. Dry
Right.
cleaning. You gotta move. You gotta pick it up, go. You know, so people is on a hurry. If you wait a
Right.
little longer, try to pay cash in a coffee shop, forget it. No way, no way. People can't wait. Like, hey, come on, what's going on? You know.
Right.
Here, more relaxed. It's
Right.
okay. I'm not in a hurry. I got time. No problem.
So the work between the employees, because you obviously had some employees in California and you have some here now.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a difference has their work?
Yeah, the workforce is a little bit different. Okay, the
Okay.
workforce is a little bit different. I think the in California workforce, I will say, is more efficient. I will say here it works a little different.
Okay.
Not saying that it's not efficient. It's just different.
Okay.
You can't compare, and maybe it could be because the pace in Texas is different.
Right.
You know what? When we moved to Texas, they say we're going to start at 6 a.m. They're all like, "No, you're crazy. We're not going to stop at 6 a.m." California, 6 a.m. is like, let's go, baby.
Right.
Here, no way.
Really?
Oh yeah. So it's a little different. You just have to adjust. You know, you just have to adjust. It's adjustment.
Right.
Take some adjustment.
Right. Right.
Like I say, you don't want to bring California. You have to
Yes.
adjust to Texas.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, that's the
You
way.
have
that's
to
the way,
keep it the way it
yeah.
is, and that's it.
We want Texas the way it is. Basically, we want to keep Texas the way it is, and if some adjustments that needs to be done, then you have to adjust.
So now the company that you work for is more based on inside the pet industry,
Correct.
in the pet field. In order for you to be there, how were you involved in some kind of like were you involved in pets, or what led you to become part of that field?
Not necessary. Basically I started working for this company since it was basically on the beginning when it was almost like a baby Amazon garage situation, where there was a small scale of orders, a small scale of production, and I just grow with the company. I did everything. I mean, my first job with the company, I was breaking pallets. But you know what? When I was breaking pallets, I was the best pallet breaker in that area,
company.
you know? And then they moved me as a cutter. And you know what? I was the best freaking cutter. And then one of the things I noticed is I just became really good dealing with people, which is, I think, is a talent. Not everybody is really good dealing with people. I will say that probably 3-4 years in the company, I was giving orders to some of the guys there. They had been there for a while. Like, hey, we need to do this. We need to do that. We need to do this. Why we don't do this? Why we don't do things different to make things faster? And it was something that it was just natural. And that's how kind of like helped me to be where I am right now through the company. I mean, I've been with this company for 30 years, so that speaks a lot.
Right.
So I do put a lot of value to the company. I always say, since the beginning, I put value, and I continue to put in value. And as long as you put value to the company is going to be there for you. I really enjoy what I do at this factory.
Right. So where do you think that mentality or that mindset came about? How did you develop that? Was it something just like...
No, you know what? I've been working since I was 5 years old. Okay, my first job was cleaning snow, and I was living in Chicago at that time. I used to clean snow for older people.
Oh.
Me and my brother, we would get $5 per house, and we had so many houses, and we had to get it done. And then after that, we start kind of recycling aluminum, and we were making money, and we knew how much aluminum we had to collect, and we would have put so much effort and so much pride on our work. Then it's just to kind of start building on my DNA. You know, it's like learning from my older brother. And then actually when I was 10 years in Chicago, and then I moved down to Mexico, so I had my own kind of like, I would call it my own small business, which in Mexico, for your furnace to be able to heat up your water, you need to make, you almost need to make like a human-made log to be able to, and I was making those. I was going to the carpentry, getting my wood,
Uh-huh.
doing my logs, selling it to the store, selling it to other people. I was 10, 12 years old.
Dang.
And that mentality is just on me. It's
Right.
basically natural. I just like doing things, making them fast, figuring things how to make it faster. It's just natural, basically.
Right. Because I mean, for me, I've been through a couple companies, and I would say where my mindset kind of changed, and when I started from working outside and hard labor to working inside, was when I realized that that in a company, the best thing for me to do is to hold on to somebody and have them train you and have them mentor you, show them that you want to grow within the company, and kind of ask questions as to how can I get to the next level.
Right.
Because just like anybody who has success, they love sharing their stories, and I'm sure they want other people below them to also succeed. So what I figured out is that, everywhere I go, I try to find someone that can mentor me, or someone that will answer my questions, so that way I can also be kind of on their level and we can both succeed together. What are some of the things that kind of helped you grow from the bottom to the top?
Look, so the there's no secret, okay? If you're a plumber, just be the best freaking plumber you can be. And anything that you do, just put as much effort and do it the best you can. And that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. There's no like secrets. There's nothing. They just put your effort. Effort is something you can control. So just put all your effort, do the best you can for that job, and just that's gonna take you a long, long way. Basically, I mean, you could be respectful. You can work with people. I mean, you always give respect, but the main thing is focusing on what you do and doing the best you can. Basically,
Right.
that's it. I mean, there's
Right.
not much to put on it.
And even that requires, I would say, a lot of discipline, a lot of consistency and perseverance, because you have to kind of put in your best every day. I would assume with a good attitude,
Good attitude.
good communication with people, and eventually, I'm pretty sure it'll be noticed.
Yes, and you mentioned one really secret word here, which is discipline. Discipline is very important because you got to have discipline no matter what. I'm not going to say that I'm the most disciplined person, but I do try to work as hard as to be as disciplined as I can. I am super responsible, but I sometimes struggle a little bit with discipline. Not because I want to. It's just that, when I was born, I didn't came with instructions. Basically,
Right.
I had to learn the hard way. Sometimes I have to listen to your podcast. I'm a really good listener, so I listen to podcasts and I try to absorb as much as I can. So if you're not a disciplined person, you can be a disciplined person. All you got to do is just
Right.
train yourself.
Right.
So
Yeah. So now with the company, you've been there for 10 plus years,
30 years.
30 years. Oof.
Yes.
Okay.
30
So
years.
20 or 30 plus years.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I've been through companies probably 2 to 3 times, and 2 to 3 years on average. And there's times that I have left because, sometimes I feel like I'm putting in 120%, and I don't feel like I'm valued. Or there's changes that are out of my control that I just don't agree on, or there's an opportunity that comes up that I have to pursue, and there's, within companies, there's pitfalls, there's employee turnover, there's management changes. How do you, despite all that, how are you able to ground yourself there for as long as now?
Focusing on my job. I mean, a company is like a freeway. You got different lanes. As long as you stay on your lane and respect every other department, you're gonna be just fine. Working with all departments at the same time. So it's basically just putting your discipline and putting your effort and just doing your thing. Not trying to focus on other stuff. because at the end of the day, the people is the company. So the people is a company. So I've been here. I've been with this company for 30 years, and they might be doing something right. I mean, because I feel respectful. I feel happy to go every day to work, and I'm a team member. I work with my team and I try to help as much as I can and give the knowledge that I can to even the new guys that come in, because eventually those are the ones they're the future. They're the ones that are going to be running this company maybe another 30 years.
Right.
So
you've been, I mean, obviously it didn't go from, so can you give us like a rundown of like our step by step on, because I'm pretty sure it happened from, you said a pallet breaker to cutter to now you are the director of operations, right?
Yeah. So when I started with this company, like I say, it was a small garage. I mean, it was a small factory. We were still using those GPS logs, as you remember. We were shipping maybe like 30 packages on a day. And then I saw the opportunity. I became the cutter. Like I told you, I was trying to be the best cutter ever. And I developed at the time with the company. At that time, we had another different. It was owned by a different person, which they were developing a lot of different products, and I was helping with the development of different products. And some of the products were kind of old-fashioned, and we made them a little bit more modern, longer. So the product will last a little longer, better-looking products, and that kind of helped me develop also. And I can see a product and I say, you know what, this product you need to fix this because this is going to fail. And I also help the company develop products too, and we make them better. And it's been a lot of cases like that. Then when one of the owners went actually on vacation, I saw the opportunity. He left me in charge. I say, Robbie, you're going to run the show. I said, what? I'm going to run the show. I'm the new guy, You got all these guys that's been here for too long. But I took the job serious. So I was giving orders and I was talking to customer service, and customer service, hey, Robert, we need this, we need this, we need that. And I was making it happen. I was making the product that was needed at the time at a small scale. So when the boss came back and said, whoa, wait a minute, everything's running so smooth. What's going on, Robert? I say, hey, well, you know what? We're just making what's needed. If we need 100 of this, we're going to make 100 of this. No matter what, you got to make it. You got to make it happen. Customers first. You got to get the product to the customer. So then after that, he's like, hey, you're in charge, man.
Really?
You're in charge. And that's how I learned. I mean, I was probably like 26, 27 years old. And that kind of gave me the opportunity because I was able to learn in a small scale and prepare myself for a bigger scale. So that's kind of like how everything kind of started shifting up. And then I just, they changed my position. I was in charge of the manufacturing side. We moved to a bigger building. I think it was a 30,000 square foot building. Then after that, we relocated the whole factory to a bigger building, which is a 60,000 square foot building. And then after that, we were like mega factory, which is here in Texas, which is 100. We have 120,000 square foot building plus another 30,000 square foot area that we can build probably in the next couple of years.
Wow. Yeah. Here's a silly question. Do you believe in luck?
I do believe in luck, but luck is not going to take you too far.
Okay.
You got to put effort, man. You got to put effort. Nothing's going to come automatically.
So would you say that opportunity was luck or do you just consider it as an opportunity?
I take it as an opportunity because if you think about it, if I was 28, 29, I could say, you know what, screw that.
Right.
You know what? If we get orders out, we get orders out. If we don't, I don't care. But I know I care. I care at that time. I did care for the company, and I still care for the company.
Right.
So I see it more. I don't see it more as luck. I see it more as an opportunity.
Yeah.
I really do.
Because I feel like luck gets thrown around a lot, and I don't think it's really I think there's a bunch of work and a bunch of opportunities taken and a bunch of discipline taken before it turns into luck. Just like you said, you were doing the best that you could, and then because you were doing the best that you could, an opportunity grew.
Yeah.
And then you took that opportunity.
I took that opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
And Yeah, and I feel like that's, a lot of people say, oh, just because he's lucky. And it's like, no,
No,
he's
no,
not
no.
lucky. He put in the work
Yeah.
and he finally got his opportunity. But you can't get an opportunity if you don't put in the work.
Put in the work, because there's been
Right.
opportunities, and I'm going to tell you one thing. There's been an opportunities, personal life, that I haven't take, and I regret them the whole freaking life. I really do. Big opportunities that I'm like, oh my God, why I didn't do it,
Right.
Unfortunately, there was reason why not. But when there's an opportunity, I always tell my guys, I always tell my son, take it. Take the opportunity, man, because those opportunities doesn't come back so often. So if there's an opportunity
Right.
and you see it's right and it makes sense for you, go for it.
Right.
Take it.
Right. I see, like, even luck can be misunderstood within one another. A way that some person is born lucky. It's like maybe that person is born lucky, but, their grandparents, their grandmothers, all the people before their generation did all the work.
Could be.
So now the work, if you weren't so, if you were born and you're not so lucky, it's like you have to put in your work, so that way when you have your kids, they can be lucky.
They can be lucky.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to teach them how to.
Yes.
Yeah, don't give them the luck, because then they get too comfortable.
Right. But that luck has to continue. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I did all my work, my discipline, everything to give you opportunities, to give you luck. Now you have to do the same for the future generation.
Right. And I would say that, like, bad luck. Okay, if I don't pay it's not that you have bad luck. If you don't pay your bills, guess what's gonna happen, right? So guess what? It's not about luck. You get up, you go to work, you do what you got to do to pay your bill.
Yeah.
It's not, oh my God, I have bad luck. I have to pay my bill, and now So it's not about luck or good luck. You just have to put
in the
gotta
work.
Put your work. Yeah.
Either you
absolutely.
put in the work and you get lucky, or you don't put in the work
And you don't get lucky.
Exactly.
That's the way it is, man.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
So now,
Yeah.
now you have this career where you get, I would imagine you get more freedom. You're able to travel on, the company, where it's all covered by the company. You get to travel out of state. You get to travel out of the country and all that. So it's a complete change for you and your family, right? And how are you able to manage that balance of work life and family life?
And family life it's not easy, man. It's not easy. I'm gonna tell you that. First of all, you got to have a really understandable wife, because it's been times that I've been gone for a couple weeks,
Really?
But I'm so lucky. I have a beautiful wife that she knows how to take care of things, And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I leave, I really don't worry too much, because you know what? I know she's gonna take care of stuff. I know if something breaks, she's gonna call whatever needs to be done. So that's a peace of mind for me. Being away, it's not easy. It's not easy, especially when you're in a different country. There was one time I took a trip with my boss, and we were in Israel.
Wow.
And we were in it was actually New Jerusalem, and we were in this hotel. It's a little depressing, and I'm like, I mean, so far, my family's all the way in that time, and they were in California. I'm like, that was the one time I feel like, oh my God.
You felt homesick?
Not homesick, but I feel a little bit lonely. I didn't tell my wife, but I did feel a little bit lonely. It's not easy. Sometimes I travel for a week, a couple of weeks. I always try to give my agenda to my wife, she knows what I'm doing, and she knows where I'm going to be. And I try to be as careful as I can. Things can happen anywhere. Things can happen in Texas. Things can happen in Mexico. Things in Israel, and anything. But I always try to give her as much information as I can, so she knows where I am and what I'm doing. And then, luckily, she's a strong woman, man. She knows how to take care of stuff, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that goes also to our previous conversation, to where you need change, and only going out of your comfort zone and seeing what else is out there can help you also expand your mind, expand your mentality, expand your ideas, and you going out of state, out of the country, would you say that that has also helped you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because now things have shifted. So now I'm trying to focus more on the elephant stuff, on the big stuff. So absolutely, anytime you walk into a factory, you learn something. We go to a trade show, we capture something. You talk to different operations, the same guys that are doing the same job as you're doing, and you kind of exchange information. You pick their brain, and you just every time you actually go to a trip, it's actually you come back with good stuff, and you execute what you have learned in your factory. So exchanging information is a beautiful thing, especially on the same. If you're talking to a different a guy in Mexico or a guy anywhere, and they do things differently, but it's a good way, it's a good process. You know what? Just bring that information back and apply it into your factory.
Right.
And the same thing, I have some guys that say, oh, how you do this and how you do that. And you're like, whoa, that is freaking amazing. You know what? And they take that information and they apply it in their factories, just exchanging information, which it does it really good for everybody. It benefits me, it benefits them. And like I say, every time you go into a factory, it's a different experience. In this case, I call it experience because you do learn a lot of things. And it's amazing what you learn or what you see, or the different process that they do, or the different setup that they have for the factory. So it's a must. It's a must. You have to be active. You have to be reading. You have to be looking at magazines. You have to be looking at YouTube videos and visiting factories and trade shows to be able to bring all that knowledge to your factory.
Right.
To bring all that value, because now it's a little different. Things have shifted now. So I'm a little, I have a different responsibility now. So.
Right. And I guess that would now, because of COVID, everything has completely changed. And it has also changed the traveling. So I guess that would be one disadvantage to where some companies are not even flying their employees, to other states or even other countries, because now they're not able to explore other companies or just go out of state and explore other factories, companies, vendors, or whatever, And with you traveling and flying, how of an impact or how was COVID affected?
Well, the one thing, every country is different, and what you're going to have to do is just follow the protocols. If they require to have a COVID shot before you come back home, do what you got to do. If some factories will require for you to wear the mask, just follow the protocols, and you should be fine. I've been in places that you cannot even go in,
Right.
Or they'll allow you to go in with a mask, or there's some countries that you just can't fly.
Really?
So you just have to adapt to the different protocols for every factory.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you're more involved within, like I said, when you're traveling, you're visiting companies in Mexico, and you're already a Spanish speaker. And one of the things that I find fascinating is like language, because I feel like language also carries some of your personality. Because like for me, sometimes I feel more of an extrovert when I speak Spanish, but when I speak English, I'm more introvert. I speak more serious, and when I'm speaking Spanish, I say a bunch of silly stuff. So, how does language affect when you're talking to your customers or your vendors here in the United States versus like customers and vendors in like Mexico?
Well, it's a little different. Look, I'm going to tell you just a quick story. I used to do traffic school, okay? I used to do traffic school in California. So I had an English class, and I had a Spanish class. So the English class was always focused, paying attention and always on time. When I was doing the Spanish class, they were always late. They wanted to talk about everything except for traffic. But you just adjust yourself to basically either you're visiting a Mexican factory or you're visiting an American factory. It's easy to adapt. But for me, the more languages, the better. I can tell you that. I wish I could speak Japanese or Chinese. I've been in China a few times, so it would be very beneficial. Luckily, most of the time when we go to other countries, we always speak they speak the English language, so that haven't been a problem. But in the Mexico factories, I mean, I communicate easy. I feel more comfortable
Yes.
communicating in Spanish just because I was born in Mexico, so that's kind of my primary language.
Right.
So for me, it's more comfortable. I feel more freedom. I feel like I can say without the spelling problems. So, oh my God, did I spell it right or stuff like that? So, but it's not a. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's actually a good thing. I mean, the more languages, like I always try to teach my kids to learn Spanish, just because there's a lot of opportunity. I mean, a lot of companies, Japanese companies, Germany companies are moving to Mexico, so they're actually opening factories in Mexico. So the more languages you can learn, the more opportunity you might have.
I would imagine you like someone that can speak multiple language, and like I said, you're able to develop a personality. Just imagine someone that can be able to 100%, perfect 3 languages. How dangerous that person would be.
Oh my God! Imagine, no, forget it, man. You have so many. That's where the opportunities come.
Right.
So if you're an English-speaking person, you might have one opportunity.
Right.
But if you speak 3-4 different languages, guess what? Those opportunities just massive. So
right. Even like me within companies, one of the things that I found that, like I said, I can be a very like introvert person, to where I don't do a lot of communication with people, and I'm just not out there talking to people, getting to know people. But shortly after, I realized that I kind of had to do that.
Oh yeah, you gotta interact with people. I mean, that's the way you're gonna not only earn respect, but you learn from other people.
Right.
You learn from other people. So
right.
you gotta be able to interact with every department, every person, even with the cleaning guy. I don't care. I mean, you gotta respect every single guy, clean up with and listen to them. Listen to them. Basically, that's how you're gonna get.
Right. So that's something that you already felt comfortable since the beginning, or is it something that you found out or you developed?
No, I think I felt comfortable since the beginning. Yeah, absolutely.
It was just in your nature.
Yeah, I think so, man. I just love it, man. I mean, I give respect. I earn respect, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Like I said, I mean, I've been working for the company for 30 years, and since day one, I feel appreciated,
right.
everything I have done. So it's good. It's a good feeling. So I try to represent that same feeling that I feel to any of my guys.
Right. So do you think right now you're at your prime, or do you still see yourself?
No,
growing?
I think I'm on the beginning, man. I really do. Why? Because now I know the formula.
Okay.
Once you know the formula, it's easier to do things. So I think I'm just starting, man. I'm just starting. I feel like there's so much potential. I wish I had more time in the day. It's just crazy. I dream big. My dreams are like massive, dude. Like massive.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that, I mean, obviously our stress situations are a bit different because you're obviously more high level. You have to make decisions that affect all of us. Mm-hmm. And I have less decisions to make, but sometimes it can be stressful. But one thing that kind of helps me to relieve some of the stress is just going to the gym, because then I feel like I can release everything and just tire myself out from all the stress and just release everything.
Just refresh yourself.
Yes, refresh.
Reset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. What are some of the things that you find beneficial when you're having like a rough day?
Okay, when I'm having a rough day, there's a couple things that I do, like in the morning. I normally even if I have the opportunity to live close to work, I try not to, because that 20-minute drive, that's when I reset. That give me time to clear my mind, drink my coffee, get to work. By the time I get to work, I'm already ready to go. 100 miles per hour, Then after a long day of work, I try to hit the gym. I do the treadmill, and that kind of helped me out, kind of release all that stress and stuff. So that way, when I get to my family, then I'm fresh. I'm good. So
Right.
working out, my drive that really helped me. Podcasts, really listening to podcasts, really helped me out. And I'm the kind of guy that I can go to in the morning. I could definitely go to the drive-thru, pick up my coffee, and go to work. But I'm not that kind of person. I'm the kind of person that I will go to Starbucks in the morning. I get out of my car, I get my coffee, and I always try to have an interaction like, "Hey, good morning, have a great day," and pick up my coffee, and then on my way to work. That's just me.
Right.
I like that interaction, the morning interaction, like, "Hey, good morning, have a great day," and that's how I want to start my day.
Right.
Yeah.
Just feel like pets are becoming more and more normalized in the human household.
Right.
Especially more than kids, because I mean I seen data where there's now less kids being born, and people are having 2, 3, 4, 5 more dogs. It almost seems
Yeah.
like, like the pets are kind of replacing the kids.
They don't want kids. They want pets, which is good for our business.
Right.
No, but you know what? I always use my wife an example. Look, my wife, when we moved to Texas, that's when COVID was really bad. We always I always wanted the ugliest dog. I want a dog that looks just like me. So we got a pug, right? So we got a pug, Frankie's beautiful dog. We love him. We brought him back from California, and my wife didn't like him. Oh my God, that ugly dog! Kick him out of here, And when we moved to Texas and we were all locked down and everything, we couldn't go out. She bonded so much with the dog. And now Frankie's the number one. Frankie's is the man of the house.
Wow.
And that happened not only in my household, but a lot of other households, which it brought a lot of opportunities for the pet industry because now people are more going to direct consumer, like big guys buying fancy collars, fancy leashes, and they're spending more on their pets.
Right.
Premium food, premium everything. So
Right.
they're really bonding into the pets. So they want pets. They don't want kids.
Right. Yeah, because I've seen like the pet industry has grown into just like billions and billions of dollars.
Yep.
So now with that, you being in the pet industry, do you have to constantly like look at stuff like that?
Yeah, just for information. I mean,
Okay.
it's not required, but it's good to know what's happening in the vet industry because that's kind of what we do, and we want to know who got bought out or what's going on with the big guys. Actually, I go to the trade shows every year and do a walkthrough and see what's going on. Absolutely,
Right.
you have to be involved. What products are out there? What's happening, who's in business, who's not, who's having problem with the supply chain. So that helps our business because we know when we have to be more aggressive, when we have to bring more products out. So absolutely.
Right. So you say you were kind of pretty much on your prime because now you have the formula together.
Yeah,
Now
I know
you
the
know-
formula, man. I can give you the formula.
Can you write it down here?
Absolutely.
So now you have the formula, right? And let's say, because now they're creating technology for you to even live longer, right? So let's say you have multiple pills, right? And you
Right.
say, okay, you take this pill, you're able to add 10 years. Take this pill, 50 years. Take this pill, 100 years. Or take this pill, you can live forever.
Jeez, I'll take the 10 years.
10 years?
Oh yeah, because you know what? If you're gonna live for 50 years, I mean, do you really gonna enjoy another 50? If you're gonna throw another year, unless you tell me that pill's gonna bring me back to my 50s and I'm gonna live another 50 years. Okay, let's do it. But otherwise, man, no. I would say, I mean, the life shortage is. I mean, everybody's. I would say probably on their 70s, and that's I think that's as far as we're gonna get.
Right.
70, 80s, man. So
Right. Well, I mean, now there's more technology. There's an option for healthier food choices. I believe that there's that sometimes it is better and beneficial for you to pick that a little bit more expensive food option that's gonna at least add, even if it's a couple minutes to your life,
Right.
you know. And not only that, but it's gonna help you be able to move and also, you know, exercising, working out, just going out for a stroll or a walk, you know. And the problem is that people eventually stop that, and it's like, no, like that we're meant to, us humans were meant to move.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you're sitting on a couch, you're creating cancer on yourself.
Yes.
You gotta move. We're meant to move. We have to move.
Right.
So when you stop moving, that's a problem.
Right. And see, it's just like they say, once you hit 40, your bone density becomes less and less.
Right.
But that's especially if you're not working out. Just like, you know, if your bones are not growing, that's because they don't need to grow. You're not giving your bones stress. If you're not breathing 100%, that's because your lungs don't need to breathe up 100%. If you're just sitting on the couch watching TV
Not healthy.
or not doing anything, it's like you need to constantly stress your body so that way it can, you know, it could be its own discipline.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I am completely with you.
Yeah.
Actually, the way you eat, the exercise that you do, that's how long, the longer you're gonna live. If you're the kind of guy that gets from work and go on the couch and watch Netflix for 3-4 hours, guess what? It's not good. It's not healthy.
Right.
It's just not the way I want to live my life.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like you also have like this, you know, like you said it before, like go big.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home mentality, right?
Yep.
So you're already in a position where you've been through it all from the ground of the company to where it is now. So you kind of go the ins and outs.
Right.
What's keeping you away, or what's keeping you away from, or how easy would it be for you to start your own company?
Well, I have a 5-year plan. Okay, I know exactly what I'm gonna do in 5 years, and 10 years. Right now, I'm probably gonna devote another 10 years to the company, but I do have some other plans that I want to do for my own. I am a big coffee lover, man, and I would definitely. I've been putting a lot of kind of like a business plan for a coffee shop that I really enjoy, and it's gonna. Some of my closer friends knows about it. My family knows about it.
Right.
But I will say if that happens sooner, then I can probably just dedicate myself, because a business is a dedication.
Right.
So you can't be working for another place and dedicate yourself for your business. So
Yeah.
if it happens sooner, I'll put 100% on that coffee shop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
you kind of have to give yourself, what would you recommend, like a 5-year, 10-year plan?
right now it's a 5-year plan. 5-year plan. I have a couple things that I gotta do. Some big investments, my coffee shop, and some other things that we're working on. So we'll see how it goes, man.
Right.
The opportunities are there, so we just got to take advantage of it, like I said.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right, Robert. Well, our time is up.
Oh, really?
Thank
oh
you.
my God, dude.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your wise words. Appreciate it. And
Look, I'm a newbie to this, man. I actually enjoy it, eh?
good.
I actually
good.
enjoy it, so I actually enjoy
Well, we
it.
definitely need to have
Yeah.
another show.
Yeah, we'll work something. We'll work something out.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. All right, everybody.